Good morning, second grade. Today is lesson 73 for phonics, and we are going to be talking about 3 new suffixes today. But first, we are going to review some of what we already know. So go ahead and get out your spelling and high frequency word practice page, and we are going to start by spelling some words. So underneath the review words box, for number 1, we're going to write the word boil. Boil. B-O-I-L. Boil. Remember, oi in the medial position is spelled with O-I. For number 2, we will spell the word void. Void. V-O-I-D. Again, oi in the middle of a word is spelled with O-I. For number 3, let's spell the word boy. Boy. B-O-Y. Boy. Oi is in the final position of this word. So oi at the end is spelled O-Y. Now let's practice spelling some sight words. For number 4, under the sight words box, let's spell the word question. Question. Q-U-E-S-T-I-O-N. Question. And then number 5, we're going to spell the word young. Young. Y-O-U-N-G. Young. And number 6, spell the word again. Again. A-G-A-I-N. Again. When you are finished with those words, you can put your worksheet aside for a few minutes. I have written on my board lots of different words. Let's see if you can read any of these words. Do you see any that you know or that you can read? All right, let's see, go through them. Cartoonist, organist, realist, boyish, foolish, Turkish, golden, deepen, lighten. What do all of these words have in common? They all have a suffix. What are some of the different suffixes that you see? IST, ISH, and EN. So let's talk about each of these suffixes for a moment. What do you think the suffix IST means? The words that we have are cartoonist, organist, and realist. What do you think IST means? Someone who performs a certain action, like a cartoonist will make cartoons. An organist will play the organ, or it's also something that has a certain trait. Like a realist will think about things that are real, or they act real. Okay, so IST means performing in a certain way or having a certain trait. What do you think ISH means when it's a suffix? We have the words boyish, foolish, Turkish. Boyish The ISH means like something. So if we say something is boyish, we mean it's like a boy. Okay, somewhat like a boy. Suffix ISH can also mean having qualities of. So like in the word foolish, if I say that you are foolish, that means that you are somewhat acting like a fool. Okay. You're doing silly things. You're being foolish. Or we talk about a nationality, being from somewhere. So Turkish people are from Turkey. Okay. And then lastly, we have suffix en, like in the word golden and deepen and lighten. So en means that it's made of something. Golden means that it's made of gold. Or how to become. So deepen means that we want something to be more deep. Lighten, we want it to be more light. Okay. So how do we code suffixes? Let's go back to coding these words. When we have a suffix, we're going to draw a box around the suffix. Okay, so let's start with the first word. So I put a box around suffix ist. If we pretend it's not there, we're left with a root word. Very good. We always have to make sure that a root word is left. So in this word, we have the root word cartoon. In this word, we have the root word organ. In this word, we have the root word real. Let's keep going through. The root word is boy. The root word here is fool. The root word is Turk. Suffix en. The root word is gold. Box around the suffix. The root word is deep. And our last word, the root word is light. So now that we found all the root words, we are going to code the root words, okay? So let's go back up to the top. We're going to practice coding all of these words, okay? So for cartoon, we need a K back on the C. We have combination AR to put an arc underneath, and digraph OO. There were two vowels here. We have a vowel, consonant, consonant, vowel pattern, which means there are 3 syllables. Cartoonist. Which syllable is accented? Cartoonist. That second syllable, so right before the suffix. Remember, the accent is when it's higher, louder, and longer. Okay, let's move on to organist. We have combination OR. There is another vowel, consonant, consonant, vowel pattern. So we're going to divide between the R and G. Organ. G-in. We are putting that schwa sound above the A. Organist. This time, the first syllable is accented. Organist. Moving along, we are coding the root word real, which has digraph EA. The E is making the sound with a macron. The A is silent. Realist. That first syllable is accented. Realist. Now we're moving on to suffix ISH. So we have the root word boy. The O is part of diphthong OY, which says oi. And that first syllable is accented. Boyish. Moving along, in this root word, we have digraph OO again. Foolish. Foolish. The U in Turk is part of combination UR. We'll put an arc underneath that. We will accent the word Turk in Turkish. Lastly, we have suffix EN. So in gold, we hear that long O sound, so we'll put a macron above the O. And again, that root word is accented. Golden. Deepen has digraph EE. The first E is making the sound. The second E is silent. Again, the root word is accented in deepen. And our final word has a trigraph IGH. The I is making the long sound, so it gets a macron. The G and the H are silent. The root word is accented in lighten. Lighten. Okay, so we just talked about 3 new suffixes. Go back to your practice page. We are going to, under the box labeled new sounds and words, we are going to spell words that have our new suffixes. So for number 7, we're going to write the word woolen. Woolen. So wool is spelled W-O-O-L, and then suffix E-N creates the word woolen. Number 8, we're going to write the word selfish. Selfish. So the root word is self, S-E-L-F. Then we add the suffix ish, I-S-H, to make selfish. And for number 9, we're going to write the word artist. So the root word is art, A-R-T, then add suffix I-S-T, artist. Great job. So now you will practice reading and spelling your high frequency words, and then you are actually given a page full of lines. So I am challenging you to use all 8 words to write a story. Don't forget to capitalize the beginning of your sentences and add punctuation like a period, a question mark, or an exclamation point. I am ready to move on to worksheet number 73 at this time. We are going to practice coding some words with suffixes. So for number 1, we have suffix IST. So we'll put a box around the suffix. And we know it's a suffix because we're left with the root word. So now we will code the root word. And I see combination AR to put an arc underneath. This word is harpist. Harpist. That root word is accented, so the accent mark goes before the box. Now the suffix IST means that this is describing someone who plays the harp. It's called a harpist. Okay. For number 2, we have suffix ISH. So we're going to put a box around that. Now, when we look at the root word, we see the word pig, right? But pig is only spelled with 1 G. So we're going to actually cross out the second G. And now to code pig, we need a brevy above the I, and we'll still put our accent mark on the root word. This word is piggish, which is describing someone who's acting like a pig, which might mean that they're messy. Number 3, we have suffix en. We're left with the root word sick. So we'll put a brevity above the I. Then we have digraph CK. We cross out that C. Sicken. Sicken. We just spelled this next word on our practice page. We have suffix IST. We're left with a root word, art, which has combination AR. Artist. Again, we're going to accent the root word. That is the main part of the word, which is why we are accenting that. Look at number 5. I actually see 2 suffixes. Do you see 2 suffixes for number 5? There is suffix ly. And when we cover that, we're left with the word sheepish, which has suffix ish. So we're going to put a box around both suffixes, but separate them. So now we have the root word sheep, which we will code, digraph sh to underline, and digraph ee. The first E gets a macron, cross out the second E. Again, the root word is accented. And lastly, for number 6, we have suffix en. We are left with the root word gold, which has long O. Put a macron above the O and add your accent mark. If you need to catch up, you can pause the video. Otherwise, we are ready to read the sentences and answer the questions. A cartoonist is a comic artist who can think up and then sketch cartoons. Many magazines publish cartoons. Cartoons are used to advertise or entertain. Cartoons that entertain are known as comic strips or gag cartoons. The comics people seem to enjoy the most are in the form of comic books. Question number 7. What does a cartoonist spend his or her time doing? Well, I look back and I see a cartoonist is a comic artist who can think up and then sketch cartoons. So that's what they spend their time doing. So we have a long line here. So we are going to write a complete sentence. So we are going to start with capital A cartoonist thinks up and sketches cartoons. And that is a complete sentence, so we'll put a period at the end. A cartoonist thinks of and sketches cartoons. Ooh, number 8 is an opinion question. Which comics do you like to read the most? So I like to read, and then you can fill in the rest of that sentence with what you like to read. I like to read sports comics. Maybe you like to read different kinds of comics. I like to read blank comics. In number 9, true or false, comic strips are cartoons that entertain. Do comic strips entertain? Yes, true. Very good. So remember, when there is a long line, we need to write a complete sentence. So now on the homework, You do have one long line, so you will need to write a complete sentence. Here are the number of codes that you will find on each word. So number 1, you will have 9. Number 2 has 3. Number 3 has 5. Number 4 has 10. Number 5 has 4. And number 6 has 7. Great job today, second grade.